Hi guys and welcome to another video. So in this video I'm gonna start talking about the if statement. Okay, so let's just I'm gonna give a background on how we're gonna use this. And we use this when we are working with decision making and we need to kind of take a decision or make a decision, and we need some way to ensure that we have other correct ways to do that. So the if statement is pretty similar to the if in English, which means that we have a certain condition met, we are able to proceed. Okay, so let's just start with a simple if statement. For example, let's just give you, I'm just gonna give you how the structure of a if statement. So if, for example, one and we need some mathematical expression. One of those is equal. Okay, equal means uh, equal, but in the same sense of mathematics and when you're comparing numbers. For example, if one is equal one, we're gonna print. Notice that I have this column right here, and we have a new indentation level. If one equal one, the universe makes sense. Okay, so it's a very simple example. As you guys can see, it print out the universe makes sense. What happened there was that I had an statement which was comparing if one is equal one. So we could write our own uh, comparisons. For example, I could try 5 greater than 6 and I get false. Okay, so this is how you could do this. So remember one thing, okay? I'm only be able to execute some code that I have inside of an if or other body, okay, if the condition is met. So if it is true, this case is false. But if I type right here, one equal one, I'm gonna see that it is true. That's why we executed this part, okay, this print, the universe makes sense because it is true. This condition is true. This would be the same thing as if I typed if true, but we're not going to talk about this right now. What are the others one that we could try to write? So I could write 5 less than 3, which is false. We can also use the difference sign. For instance, let's write 7 different than 7, and it is false because 7 is equal 7. And but I could try 4 is different than 9, and it is true. And I could also write 5 greater or equal 3, which is true. 2 is less or equal 3, which is true. Okay, so that's how you could write this. I'm gonna drag this up a little bit to um, help you out. Let's just think about when we could do this. Or we could also use the equal sign to try to for instance, like try to let me remember uh for example, like I have a string called name, which would be equal Pedro. We could try name equal Pedro. If I do that, I'm gonna see that is true. Okay, so we could work with strings also, and other data types. But the main point here is that you need to have in mind that sometimes the conditions will not be met, and then we're gonna need other ways to kind of handle that. Let me just think a little bit on one example that I'm gonna show you guys. Um, Let me see. Yeah, the age one is pretty good, but no. Okay, the temperature one. So, let's create a variable called temperature, which will be equal none. Okay, I forgot a e, right? An e right there. So temperature will be equal none, and we're gonna read the temperature. So let's read the temperature. Temperature will be equal input, enter the current temperature. Okay. So the current temperature here, I guess, is 25 Celsius degrees, and I have this temperature, and let's write a if statement. If temperature is greater or equal 20, we're gonna print it's um it's a warm weather. Okay, good. Uh, let's execute. Okay, I see what I did there, but you guys will see this in more detail later. But just for now, just keep in mind that we need to convert this to an int because currently temperature is a string, and this greater equal sign is only supported between integers. So we need to use an int function right here. And I'm gonna talk about int function later on, but just keep in mind that this will work. And you guys can see it's a warm weather. Okay. Actually, yeah, it worked because temperature is greater or equal. 20 is actually 25, so this worked. I hope you guys like this video. I'm gonna explain more in detail in the next video. Okay, so thanks for watching later. See you guys next time.